Coach Koster is the head coach at South Paulding High School. He's been there since 2013, has compiled a record of 31-16. While there in his tenure at South Paulding, they've played in 5 playoff games, the first 5 playoff games in school history. Coach Koster's been married to his wife, Diane, for 42 years. They have 4 kids and 6 grandchildren. Coach Koster is going to present this year's Pro Sports Coach of the Year Award.
Good evening. Pleasure to be here tonight with you and enjoy the opportunity to recognize the accomplishments of all these young men and the hard work that you coaches have put in, not just during the season, because I know firsthand that this is a 365-day-of-the-year job. I'm always tickled when I go to church on Sunday and somebody will say, well, what do you do during the day? Or what do you do now the football's over? So, well, actually, I sit home and watch Price is Right all day. No, this is a 365-day-a-year job, 24/7, and many sacrifices by coaches have been made on behalf of you young men, and I hope you take the opportunity in the coming days to thank your coaches and acknowledge your appreciation for their efforts. I've heard my name mentioned a couple times. I sit back here talking to pretty girls, and I do appreciate those thank yous, but somewhere out there in the audience is a real pretty lady. The lights are blinding me, I can't see. It's my wife, Diane. We've been married 42 years. I've been coaching the entire time. She's one responsible for all that food, all that organization. Every time I said, we need to do this way, she says, no, Ed, you got to do it this way. She is the master of the second thought. There she is, sitting right there. Diane, stand up.
42 years.
Somebody told me one time the coach had raised 4 good kids. I said, no, Diane has. She did a great job. It's my honor tonight to present the Coach of the Year Awards. And this is an award, guys, that you players may not understand that coaches truly appreciate to be acknowledged for the efforts that they put in on your behalf. It's not that they're any smarter or they're any better or whatever, but they've got that key to organization, that key to logistics, that key to motivation that have brought you here tonight and obviously have brought success to their program and to their schools. Now, I've heard of a lot of reasons in the past I've been doing this 40 years, so there's a lot of reasons I've heard as why coaches don't want to come to a banquet. But the assistant coach of the year went so far as to have knee replacement on Monday so he wouldn't have to be here tonight. The assistant coach of the year this year is Coach David Hines.
All right. Woo!
Now, the recipient of the Head Coach of the Year award goes to a guy that I've followed. I've taken over jobs that he left. And we've played each other and met each other, and I hate to admit it, but he's got the winning record on me, and but he does a great job. When we coached together over in Cobb County, we would always have a kickoff luncheon each year, and you had to introduce your staff. And the program was always 45 minutes longer because Coach Jones always had about 50 coaches, and he introduced every one of them. And he did a great job by that. The coach is also known as a great fundraiser. I know they're doing a great job with that over in North, and there's some ideas we want to pick his brain on and get some things going. But the other thing is, he's won for 5 years there in North Paulding, been in the playoffs all 5 years that he's been there. Now, I first got to know, go ahead. I first got to know Coach Jones through a common friend, Billy Shackelford over at Sprayberry. And Billy told a story about how they showed up, when he was working for Scott, they showed up after a dead week or an off week to Sunday workout, they kind of sharing what everybody did. And I didn't know this, but Coach is quite a horseman. And Billy told the story about how they'd all come in, and Coach Scott said, guys, we're not working today, we're going to go ride horses. And they all looked at him, you crazy. He said, yeah, we're going to go ride horses. And And he went out to the car and he showed him his chaps and he showed him his boots and he showed him his hat and his 6-shooters, and he was set to go ride horses. He was ready to roll. And they all went out and he says, now guys, I'll give you about 15 minutes, we'll be down at Walmart. And they all kind of looked at each other and said, what are we doing? What are we doing? So they all showed up, they all met down there about 15 minutes later down at the Walmart, and they got out of the car and Coach got out and had on his boots and had on his chaps and his cowboy hat and his vest. And he was primed. He says, now y'all go over and wait by the door and I'll run in and get quarters. We'll ride this horse right here. I didn't know Coach was quite the horse. That's a heck of a deal. Worst part about that, they had to call an ambulance because Coach Shackelford was riding that horse. I don't know, was it Billy or was it David who was riding the horse that time? And the horse was just flailing him around everywhere. And the manager in the store come out and said, what's going on? What's going on? And he's flailing around on the ground. And he reached down and unplugged the horse. He got it to stop so he could get off. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we've joked and we've had a good time here, but I'm going to tell you what. The best coach in Paulding County, at least much for this year, we hope we get him next year, but the coach of the year for the Paulding County Touchdown Club, Coach Scott Jones.
All right, all right. Woo! Woo!
Coach, stay here a second. I got a couple of gifts here. I know it has Coach Hines' name and Coach Jones' name, but it really needs to go to your wife. Okay? These go to your wives. Guys, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure. We got a couple more really big awards to give out tonight, and just want to recognize Coach. My coaching staff will always chuckle for some of the things. In fact, my principal said, I didn't know what's going to say. But you know, your wife told me a good story about you tonight. She said the coach is known that when he describes good running backs and good guys with a lot of quicks, he described the running back to be so fast that he could fart in the deer's face and still get away. Congratulations, Coach.